Don't just put out music and do nothing with it and expect for it to get listened to. There are things you shouldn't do, but there's no exact should. I think you're still living in a fantasy. When you tell me that your goal is to get as many people to hear it as possible, you're focusing directly on word of mouth. I mean, it can't have been working so far. You either change your goal or you keep the goal the same and you change the strategy. What you're doing now is not a strategy. You telling 5 to 10 people is not a strategy. It's just you telling your friends about it. Let's come up with like a content strategy right now. Couple minutes, just think of something real easy.
Really what I do is if I make a song, and if I really believe in the song, if I feel like the song will move people, I'm using DistroKid, shout out to them. Just upload my song there, and then do it on. I do like release it on Friday because a new music Friday. I know that there's actually some conversation even with that, but I've always just liked to release it on Friday. Um, and I posted on my Instagram for a couple times, like go listen to it. And then I do have close group of friends that I send all my music to, and and I just get the feedback from them. Yeah.
So you got a group of friends that you send your music to. How many people would you say that is, if you had to put a number on it?
And like 5 to 10.
Okay, so every single song that you drop, you got at least 5 or 10 people that you can send out your music to and get some feedback on.
Yeah, of course, of
Are
course.
they showing another 5 to 10 people each, or it kind of stops at them? Do you know?
Um, yeah, I would. Well, I would say they probably the people I send it to. It's like we all probably know each other. So when I say I guess like 5 to 10, when I'm talking about my close friends, if I drop it in a group chat, then they all get it. Um, yeah.
Okay, so you drop it in the group chat. All of these people, are they dropping music in there too, or this is just like the friend group chat type of
No.
deal?
Yeah, this is just a group chat type of deal.
Okay, so when you got a song, you know what I mean. You just push it into the group chat, ask them
Yeah.
to check it
I'm
out.
probably I'm probably I mean I do have another homeboy, he raps as well. Uh but I some of my friends, they come to me, they say, when you dropping your next songs, or they'll so I would say I don't want to say I'm the only musician or the only rapper in my friend group. I know there's other ones, but um I guess that's my thing, is my music releases aren't always consistent. um I can put out a song on DistroKid and everything, but then I can come right behind it and then put another song on SoundCloud. It's just how I'm feeling when it comes to how I'm releasing music. I really just take a moment where I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to put this song out, um, and just see what happens. I have to. That's what with any music that I release.
How many songs do you have any projects out, or is it all singles? And if so, how many songs do you have out publicly right now?
Talk to you later was 13. I have at least I have at least 20 songs out. Um,
All
but
singles.
no, one of my first, I have two projects out right now under my rap name too. Because I used to, when I first started off, my rap name was the Jaguar, and I released an album under the Jaguar back in 2019, 2019, and then I did Talk to You Later was 2022. That was the first album that I released under my new name JTOO. And then last June, or yeah, June 2nd, 2023, I released Who Hurt You.
So you have all of this music out, and are we doing all of our marketing on the newest song, or are you doing anything in your old catalog releases? And if so, like what are you doing on social media?
I'm not. I don't. It's crazy that you're asking me the questions. These are. I'm like, but I wouldn't say that I'm too active on social media. I wouldn't say that I'm like most active, but I know I probably do. Just I want to say at least I have enough engagement to I still I guess to stay relevant or
So what kind of posts are you doing right now when it comes to social media?
only post I have right now. I only have like two posts, and it's the project that I did in 2023, and then I did post a song on for the new year. It's called Happy New Year. Um, I don't have like anytime I post, it's all like me going up and post something on my story or on my time or what did I say my timeline. Me going to post something on my I don't because I don't do TikTok. I don't even have Facebook. Um, I have a Twitter. I don't even really engage on my Twitter. Use right now. I'm just strictly just Instagram. I want to make my own. I know I need to get me my own website and just kind of have like my own world and everything. But like I said, I'm still with the artist that I'm still just discovering. I don't, it's weird. Don't you feel like when every time you meet or anytime you discover an artist, it seems like they have it all figured out, right? Well, or at least for me, like the when I meet an artist, or if I like, I'm just talking about like artists, like on, for example, for Apple Music or something. It seems like they um when you go to their youth or their Instagram, it's like the page is already done, the music is out, the cover arts and everything's at the part. I do a lot of revamping with myself. Um, so everything's always changing, constantly changing. I think that's the way to describe my career or just how I am as an artist. It's just very dynamic. It's just constantly changing. Because that's just me, constantly evolving.
Why? What do you think is stopping you from putting the same foot forward that when you say you look at these other artists that are on Apple Music, on Spotify, wherever
Hmm.
you're finding them, and you go to their page, what's stopping you from? Do you not want your page to look like that? And if you do, what's stopping you from doing it yourself?
Mm, I'm, I'm an indecisive person. I really, really am.
That's what it sounds like, because
Yeah.
earlier you were saying you do a lot of revamping because that's just you, and of course we all evolve, and the best people do evolve. The ones that kind of suck ass are the ones that have the same personality and mentality from middle school or whatever. But so I understand the natural progression of you as a person, but when it comes to JTOO as a brand,
Right.
I I don't see why you don't have. How many posts did you have up? Because you said you have two right now, and you
Right.
do enough posts to stay relevant, stay consistent. But when's the last time you posted something
Well, it was New Year's.
for New Year's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, it was just like I said, I just put a song out. And I know that sounds like when I post, and that's I mean, even me just saying that, like, yeah, I just put a song out and everything. Um,
What was the post?
that was it. It was the me announcing the song. I literally recorded and mix mastered it and everything, and I released it. I did it like 30 minutes before the the new year, before the ball drop. Um, I think that was the kind of like the challenge that I was setting for myself. I was like, I want to release something as soon as the ball drop and everything. Um, that's kind of where that's what I'm saying. Just like with me with the music and just trying to figure it out, because I know that my song should be, your songs are content, and you're right. You have to market those songs um,
No. Your song is your product. So imagine what's your favorite food? Just off the top of your head, your favorite food.
I told you I'm indecisive. I was okay. Pasta.
Pasta. So you have an Italian restaurant, and your different products are going to be the meals that you have.
Right.
Imagine you just opened up a brand new Italian restaurant, and when somebody comes and says, "Hey, this is amazing food. I love it." These are your 5 to 10 people that you always show them what you're working on. So of course, each of them had to try your different dishes, see which one is the best. They all gave you your feedback. But imagine if somebody else came from the outside like me and they said, "Man, this is great food. What are you trying to do with this? I want as many people to eat this pasta as possible." Okay, so what are you doing? Well, anytime I have a new dish, I bring in my friend group. It's like 5 or 10 people, and I get them to try it and tell me what they think. Okay, and then what else? Well, that's really it. I just kind of rely on that word of mouth marketing, but it kind of stays in the group chat.
Right.
So nobody ever talks about your pasta ever again. And the only time you get on Instagram is when you come up with a new dish. To hell with all the other dishes that people could keep eating.
Yeah.
Man, that's my favorite dish. I gotta go back to that restaurant. I know there's a lot of food to choose from, but I love that dish, even if it first came out years ago. But there is so much going on, so many different restaurants, so to speak, and it gets hard to stay on the top of mind of people. Of course, you have your diehard people that's like, man, that's my favorite song ever, favorite artist ever, whatever. But the fact that you're not on TikTok, the fact that you're not on YouTube and not on Twitter, that's all fine. You don't have to be on every single platform, I feel like. Lock down your name, of course, so nobody's going out posting under your handle. But if you're more comfortable on video, bro, you should have yourself on video. And it's not just talking. People don't just come to your restaurant for your pasta. They come just because, man, that owner is cool as fuck.
Yeah.
He's just cool people. I just kind of want to be around that environment. They got good energy at that restaurant. Plus, the food is amazing. And then because of that good energy that's going out, they'll be able to talk to more people. But you saying that you're focusing directly on word of mouth, I mean, it can't have been working so far. So either your goal needs to be different, where you don't get your pasta eaten by as many people as possible. And this metaphor is going on for fucking ever. Or or your goal stays the same and you change what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you went to any bank, bro, they would look at you crazy if you had the business plan and it's like, okay, here's a little sample of the dishes I want to have, Miss Bank Teller. And they're like, wow, this is great food. What are you going to do to make sure people, because you have really a duty. When you have something like that it depends. Now it kind of gets all spiritual or whatever it is. But I feel like when you have a talent to do something, whether it's cooking, whether it's being a musician or like a painter or something like that, I feel like you ought to, not like you should, but you ought to, as in it's a duty, put that out to the world, because that will be, the way that you'll be able to fulfill yourself. But if you told this bank teller, I'm gonna tell my 5 or 10 people, she'd probably look at you crazy and wouldn't be able to approve you for the loan.
Mm-hmm.
I love the food. Come back with something more concrete. I've heard your music. I've gotten on a song with you, bro. So I already know the music is there. And I know we was talking off camera earlier where you said, I'm just so focused on the craft. Of course, that's what makes the greats the great. You feel me? Nobody ever told LeBron that he was the greatest basketball player or something, because if he misses a shot after the game, he's over there practicing that same one, doing that same shot 1,000 times. Nobody ever told him that, bro, you good enough. You don't have to keep going. But that's what makes the greats the great.
Yeah.
So focusing on your craft is good. You probably already hit your 10,000 hours, and if not, cool. There's people on hour 10 that are able to just say, "Hey, here's my first song," and it does well.
Yeah.
But I think you and I both know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you and I both know that your product is more than good enough to be out on the shelves. You feel me? And of course, you're gonna keep improving that. You'll look 5 years from now and be like, "Damn, bro, that shit from 2024 was trash." And then you probably said the same thing if you compared it from 5 years from now. But yeah, man, like you got to make a change. So what direction? What's the first step if you were to make a change to get this heard? What would that be?
Um. mm, mm, mm. I don't know. I just. I don't know, man. You got me stumped. Now you said if I gotta make a change as far as like with my music, like just getting it out to more people.
Anything. I don't want to put you in a box, and that's what's freeing about this shit.
Yeah.
There's no. That's why I was like, you don't have to be on every platform. Maybe you just like to type, or you like to write shit. I tell stories through my music, so of course I like to write this shit. I don't necessarily want to be the person on camera or whatever the fuck. So you can go to X or Threads. You could take screenshots of those and bring them to Instagram.
Hmm.
You feel me? So it's just like you can use what you're comfortable with already. But if I put it in a box and it's just like, bro, you need to get heavier on social media. One, that's super vague. What does that mean? Like, nigga, there's a lot of social media out there,
Yeah.
and you don't have to opt into everything. So between like let's say storytelling through written word, you can also do audio like a podcast. You can also do videos. And that's putting aside the natural marketing that you're going to have to do for your music.
Hmm.
But which one, if you had to choose one of them, and you could do all three if you wanted, but which one would you feel like fits you the best?
Maybe what is it? Vlogging? Like I do I would say I definitely know I would say I need a YouTube to kind of because even now I've been engaging with a lot of YouTube um pages lately. Looking forward to their content dropping, just like the channels and stuff that I follow. Like I love certain channels post a new video. Follow a lot of like audio engineering um channels. Mm, a lot of even I've even gotten back into gaming a little bit and stuff. So
So you see the power in YouTube.
yeah, and which is YouTube been around forever, and just but I never really that's the thing I never really paid. It, I think that there's I wouldn't say there's like the person or the artist that I am. I feel like no one like the song. No one gets me, but like no one really gets, I guess, my trajectory as an artist. Um, even I don't always get it. I feel like I feel like everything is in here sometimes. I do some days I do write down stuff, but some days I don't feel like writing down stuff. Um, some days I'm just in there recording, and because I mean, some days I'm just in there recording, and I'm like, damn, I'm not recording any of this. Great song may have no no sort of like the process and everything where that came to be. Um, so anyway, I'm trying to like break through that barrier and stuff now and get some of this stuff implemented. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I'm a weird artist. I really am. I a really weird artist. Um, never really. I just don't have the answers. I sound like Kanye West. I don't have the answer.
So you feel like you're a weird artist because you don't necessarily know what you want to do to get to where you want to go?
Not that's no. I feel like I'm a weird artist because it's just I have so I think there's so much that I want to do, so much that um it's like it's a lot. It's a lot and just
Paralysis by analysis. You have,
yeah, just I mean and just I think that I, if I think about all the music I've created, all the music that I'm still creating, all the things that I can do in music, all the different things I guess what I consider what make great artists and
yeah,
all the different what's the other one? It's not marketing. Well, marketing is just like how you get out to the people, but what's the other part of that? It's two. It's another word.
like branding.
The branding.
Is that what you, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, branding. Um, just everything that goes into it, can be a little bit of overload. Um, so just I feel like there's like what the big old thing of play, and just like I'm literally like just chipping at it, like just piece. by piece.
Yeah.
So even the things that I think that um or I would just say like the or just like the marketing and just like what I could be doing now and just like the goals and everything. Like, even it's like even when I go into there, then I'm working like piece by piece, even through with all of that. Sometimes it just be like a lot for a lot for my brain. Um,
No, that makes sense. And that's why I wanted you to kind of break it down because the more I hear it, the more common it sounds.
mhm.
A lot of the artists, at least that I've come across in my local city, that's the type of shit that they say.
Right.
Like it's so much work, it gets overwhelming. It seems like such a far gap from where you are now and where you want to go that it gets a bit daunting. You feel me? Like it makes you kind of just
Absolutely.
want to be like, you know what? I started this, and it's what we were talking about off camera. Like, damn, where did I start all of this from? Where did this all come from? And it comes from a love for making music. You heard something, whether it's Nicki Minaj or another artist heard whoever and got inspired enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna do that. The way that that song just made me feel, I want to either make myself feel that way with my own music or make
Hmm.
someone else feel that way with my music.
Right.
And
Right.
that's typically where it starts, and where it's just like a fun thing as well, just to do like as a kid. But I think looking at all of the other things that go with it and getting overwhelmed by it is one of the most common things.
Yeah.
Not only with artists, but I think it's like an entrepreneur type shit because that's what we all are. And not all of us, because obviously you have the hobbyists and the people that just want to make music for the sake of making music. Go out and do local shows just because it's fun. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I honestly wish that my brain was wired that way. I look at the people in my family and they're all so fucking content. And I just get jealous sometimes, bro. And of course, you can sometimes I get resentful about it, but usually it's just like jealousy because, like you said, there's so much going on and
Yeah.
I can't fucking turn it off. I can't. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm just, damn, I know I gotta take my boy to school in the morning. I'm tripping. But bro, so if I just do this real quick, you know what I mean? It's like I'm sitting here thinking through all of these different things.
Yeah.
The very long answer to what I was saying, but to kind of shorten it down, you kind of have to just love it. You have to realize that it is the infinite game.
Yeah.
It's the infinite game that you can choose to unsubscribe from. But when you tell me that your goal is to get as many people to hear it as possible, like I said earlier, man, it's one of those things that not just, man, you really should do that. You ought to do that. Like that, this is something that you need to put out in the world. And of course, that doesn't mean JTOO is an artist forever. And I'm not speaking for you, obviously, because I don't know exactly how you feel about all this deep down inside. And you saying you're indecisive, that actually might change. But this is where I think the decision comes in, where, like I said, you either change your goal or you keep the goal the same and you change the strategy. And really, it's not even a change of strategy. What you're doing now is not a strategy. You telling 5 to 10 people is not a strategy. It's just you telling your friends about it. And
Right.
honestly, if they don't listen to the type of music that you make, I don't even know. Like, it's really confusing the algorithm when you got these people that are listening to your music, and it's like, damn, they usually listen to, and they might listen to the same. So this might not even apply. My point is, bro, you got to find your people. Your friends are your friends, your family are your family. If they happen to mesh and become a fan of your music, perfect. But yeah, man, you gotta go find your people.
All right.
I know you said marketing and branding. That's where you kind of get overwhelmed by. Let's come up with like a content strategy right now. Just a couple minutes. Just think of something real easy.
Mm. Okay. You
So
go ahead.
I got something for you, bro. I got something for you. As you may know, I took a slight break at the last half of 2023. First time I've ever done it, and it's because I started getting overwhelmed myself,
Yeah.
and I realized, okay, I got to do things different. And if for people watching and listening to the podcast, if they've seen or heard any of the other episodes, I've talked about this at length before, but I came up with a framework that makes branding so goddamn easy that it ain't even funny. And it makes me question how I ever looked at it any different before.
Mm.
We have 3 dimensions in the ideal artist. You got Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa and Ice Cube, and I could go on a whole list. You know what I mean? Lil Dicky, um, Childish Gambino, all of these artists, what they have that is different than everybody else is they have a 3 dimensional brand where it comes from all of these different angles that makes up them. But these different dimensions are basically what you're going to be able to look or be able to lean into when it comes to your content. So to break them down, you got the first dimension is your music. And then you got your second dimension, which is you. And this is where a lot of people, including myself, stop. You got the good music and you got yourself. What more do you really need? But then the third dimension is going to be what you do outside of music and then finding a way to tie it all together. So like I said, you have people like Lil Dicky now has a TV show. You got Childish Gambino is another one that has a TV show. You got Wiz Khalifa has his own strain of weed. You could go down a list. I think Lil Yachty has some shit with the game. And honestly, these are the things that are on like the back end. Unless you're really a fan of the artist, you might not know about it. You might
Yeah.
just know them as the artist. But that's your first dimension. You don't want to be known as Lil Dicky, the actor. He's the rapper that happens to have his own TV show. But thinking about what you do outside of music that you could tie into your music, for me, is actually going to be like acting and filmmaking as well. And it doesn't just have to be like a Dave type of show where it's your life and you're the rapper. And so you rap your music on there and it's kind of mixing it naturally. I was saying this on one of the other episodes that it could be as simple as you really want to make a movie. It has nothing to do with the music industry. You're just the actor in it. And by the way, your song could be on the soundtrack. Simple as that. It could be a character in the movie listening to some. So let's say it's my movie. I got a random side character listening to XO Xuded. Come on, what you listen, bro? Listen to XO Xuded. Do like a little plug like that. Like you see how TV shows sometimes they'll put like an Apple product in the back. You know what I
Right.
mean? Something where it plugs it in. You could do that same thing, and then with your second dimension, that vlogging that you were talking about, bro. This right here, a podcast. You getting those same 5 to 10 friends, figuring out the 1 to 2 that you guys just have good conversations. That's coming for XO Xuded channel, the Get Zooted podcast. So that's when I'm just gonna talk nothing about music. This is on right here is on a separate channel for a reason. Because the other podcast that I'm gonna do is gonna be for my personality bucket. And now instead of being like, damn, I'm so overwhelmed, it's like, okay, got some music, let me do like a little music bucket thing. That could be as simple as like a performance video, whatever the fuck. Those are what you always see by artists. But then you got a podcast. Let's say you do a podcast and you just 30 seconds where you say some shit that you really believe in. There are going to be people that become fans and followers of you just based off of your beliefs on what you say, how you say it, and just because they rock with you as a person.
Right.
And that is hella content. They got AI fucking websites where you don't even have to do it. You just put your fucking video in and they boop, 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 pop them all out for you.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, finding that third dimension, bro, I think is definitely crucial. But what are you thinking as far as where you want to start your content?
Yeah. I'm like listening to you say that. I was like, and that's why too saying about just like really trying to go like I'm in a space where I'm really trying to discover who I am, you know, um, and discover what I like and what I don't like, and everything. With and as far and then just how that's gonna apply to the music. So, um, I tell like me and one of my friends, I tell her all the time. I was like, we gotta get as a podcast, just because of the conversation and stuff that we have. Um, I feel like I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel like I'm a relationship expert.
Everybody does.
I feel like I'm telling you, that's another one of my things. I'm like, I need to start getting know.
Bro,
I
one of
getting
the one of the most popping podcast niches that you could be in right now.
right.
That's what it's like. Them motherfuckers go up.
Yeah,
And it's like because it's all opinion, bro. It's all based off of opinion. So you know what I mean. There's really no right and wrong.
yeah.
You feel me?
But those are and those are another set of like YouTube stuff that I've been following. Like. But you're right. Those ones that or the relationship ones, self care channels, um, definitely just and I do, and then even stuff like this, I do like having conversations stuff. I don't do like I said, I don't do it all the time. I don't do this. I part of me is still very. Nah, I guess I still very introverted in some ways and stuff. I do like to be like in my world, in my own zone, but you know, yeah, I definitely could. I'm definitely, and that's why I would say I'm looking forward to like with just the entire year. New Year's is actually one. New Year's is my favorite holiday. Um, so because I just like the whole idea of new beginnings, new just being able to try things, new experiences. So with everything that we've been saying, I really am just like, and even that's why even like this, I ain't gonna lie. When you first asked me, I was like, oh nah, bro. I was like, I don't. But this even me is stepping out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm just gonna be getting into in 2024. It's just stepping out of my comfort zone. I have songs that's gonna pull me out of my comfort, um, and just want it to be just authentic. But really, what I just and I know I keep harping on this. I just really just want it to be just really authentic to myself. I really want it to be. Um, just I don't want to. I don't know how I want to say this. I don't want to get they say like lost thing and just really kind of whatever whatever I'm doing, I just want to make sure that because so one of my flaws is, or I don't want to say flaw, but one of the things I do is like if I don't like something, if I feel like it's not me, or if like I I will pull it off, pull it down.
Perfectionist.
Hmm.
Perfectionist.
Yeah, well, not even no. I feel like it's more of a self sabotage. Um, but and I've have done that so much throughout my career that one of my friends he told me he was like, it's hard to see you grow as an artist because nobody, I don't really have an origin. I don't really have a like all of you know where the he was like where you he's like you've been doing this for so long and stuff, and it seems like but all that music and everything that because I took down a lot of music. I had to. I was my early stuff was crazy. I was like, I was saying some crazy stuff. Like, I can't believe
Yeah,
y'all was like,
we all got songs we done taken down. You feel me?
yeah, I had to really take some stuff down. And then even if I go back and listen to it, I'm like, that was me. Like nobody. I'm like nobody was checking on me during them times, man.
Bro,
Um,
I feel you. I feel you.
yeah. Oh, and that's I really the big I really came into rap and hip hop on some. I just was not on the. I was not in the best headspace. I was not being real to myself. I was not, just like I said, it was like in a fantasy. Um, just saying all types of things that just really some awful things. But even during those times, I was really, really going, really like putting a lot into it and everything. And I was just wondering, like, not blown yet? Like, why ain't this pop yet? And just realizing, like, it's not gonna pop if it's not real.
Yeah.
So now I just try to make sure that um it's whatever feels real to me. And that's why I'm really indecisive because and and I love all types of genre of music. So um I know that sometimes it can be like for me, I can record a song and then I go back and listen to it. I'm like, okay, I need to go change that. I'm like, that's not me. Or like I
Right.
know that, like why would I say that? And I'm like, I need to go change it. But sometimes you just like F it. Like it's the vibe. I like the I just like it's the vibe of the song. It fits the vibe.
Right.
Um
It's just
so
how it happened, how it turned out type shit. Yeah, man.
yeah, y'all know y'all know what I meant when I said that.
Come on, bro. Yeah. No, that's facts, bro.
Yeah,
That's part of that's the art in it. I feel like it's not
yeah,
supposed to be all mechanical and exactly, you know.
yeah.
That's the reason why any songs like where you go to ChatGPT and then get AI voices to rap it, it's
Right,
not
right,
gonna
right.
sound exactly how it should. There ain't no umph in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Before we wrap this up, I think personally, I think you're still living in a fantasy.
Mm,
But this time, I feel like you were in a different fantasy. It's not in the same fantasy. You just transition from one to another.
mm,
I think you feel like you need to figure out exactly who you are, and then you go become JTOO. And I think that if you publicly became JTOO, of course, we all have our private life. We all have our shit. Life be life and type shit. You feel me? So you can keep whatever you want to keep to yourself type shit. You don't have to disclose problems with friends or family or health issues or what political views or religion, what any of that shit. You could just talk about shit that you were willing to talk about that will still differentiate you from other people. That will still show that that's where I fucked up. I just leaned into the music. That was my fantasy.
mm,
Bro, you just keep making the good songs, bro. You'll get discovered your time, all that fucking bullshit that everybody for some reason, seems to believe at one point in the artist career.
Yeah.
But you can become who you are. You can learn who you are publicly. That's what I plan on doing. I'm introverted too. I mean, I by no means am used to doing what I'm about to do this year. So just like you, the mantra, the motto for this year has to be do things outside of our box.
Mm.
Do things to get not only our music heard, but our brand recognized.
Right.
I feel like that might matter more. And you can have a podcast, bro. That could be your focus. You don't have to drop when people say you have to drop. Hey, bro, you should do this. That's what, bro. There is no should. There isn't. It's just like the relationship advice shit. Of course, don't just. There is like really, don't beat your girl type shit for the relationship. For this, it's like okay, don't just put out music and do nothing with it and expect for it to get listened to. There are things you shouldn't do, but there's no exact should, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you can go in so many different routes, bro. You could drop 4 fucking songs a year. That's it. What iPhone comes out with their one new iPhone a year? You know what I mean? Apple, I mean, so, and that's Apple. But then you can do other things like the vlogging. You can do a podcast. And if you've watched other podcasts, you know how they just do random ads. They'll interrupt themselves and they'll talk about their sponsor. They'll talk about whatever their product, if they're selling one. That's where you can come in. You don't even have to say anything. You can just have your cover art right there, your song playing. New JTOO song, streaming everywhere. Quick 15, 30 seconds, back to your conversation. You are overcomplicating this, my boy. That 15 seconds where you say something randomly on the phone with your friend, that's what the people want. They want to know you. But what are your thoughts on this, man? What's your takeaway from this conversation, bro?
Yeah. I like what you just said about do things outside of the box. That definitely is gonna hit home, and I think that's where um I'm at. Um, and you're right. Stop over. I am definitely overcomplicated. Definitely. Um, so just, but I think that's why I'm, or at least that's where I feel like I'm in a space now, just taking a step back, really just assessing things, different areas, um, with the music, all the different areas of music, and just like I said, chipping at it, just one piece at a time. Um, and then a part of, just gotta have, and you just get, and just like you said, figuring out the goal with it when it comes to, and the end goal and the vision that I have for myself. Like I said, I know it's so much, but at some point you do have to just kind of you do have to make a decision. You do have to,
But
um,
bro, be indecisive in front of them. Bro, y'all, I'm indecisive as shit. You know how many indecisive people there are? Can't even go to McDonald's and figure out if they want the number 2 or the number fucking 7. Come on,
right.
bro. Man, me too. My boy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about shit like that though. Be okay. Guys, should I do this or should I do this? Most likely, man, try both. Okay, let me try both. Now I get a natural feeling, guys. I really wasn't rocking with that other thing. And that's what I mean. Publicly figure this shit out. Publicly be indecisive. Publicly be like anything. And I didn't mean to cut you off, bro, but
Oh, no, no.
that's what I mean by how simple it is. Lean into the thing. If you're introverted, be introverted. If you're indecisive, be indecisive. And then if anything, this will help you because now you'll have a mob of people. The more you do this consistently, because that's something I feel like that would obviously need to happen as well. But when you consistently do this, you're gonna have people that actually not help you with your decision because you're gonna make the decision either way, but kind of be like if you have 50% of your audience saying, yo, you should do this instead of that, you put a poll up, you just are just talking in general, bro. Like in general, man. I feel like the more you just show yourself, the more people want to attach themselves to that type of authenticity.
Right.
And I'm not telling you anything that I haven't been telling myself. You feel me? Like, in fact, I'm still kind of telling myself while I'm telling you, just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, bro. It's okay that your dreads ain't got twisted up yet. It's okay if you stuttered a little bit. Nigga, talk about indecisive. That's not my thing, but I can't decide which take is it gonna be in the moment. I'm just the perfectionist at heart, bro. So, damn, I can say that better. Damn, I could. As simple as a story. Any story you've seen, I guarantee you, I didn't do that shit first take. Maybe a few of them.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
bro, I'm like super in my head and to my own downfall. And now I'm gonna lean into it, bro.
Yeah.
If I get like that, I'm gonna talk about it. I talk about it in my music already, but that's not enough. Only the people that break down my lyrics and do this and that, and they're like true fans or whatever the fuck. How many people really do that? How many people are just like, yo, I remember the hook. It's like, but I'm not necessarily breaking down every single bar and being like, damn, he must really be in his head too. And of course not, because I've never even shown myself enough as a person for them to personify my song like that, if
Right.
that makes sense. It's just a song. But the more of a person I show them, the more they can listen to it and be like, damn, I can feel the person behind this. I can see XO or JTOO saying the words that they're saying. That's a part of the human condition.
All right.
Is we're like we're programmed to want to be around a community and be around others and shit like that. And bro, we live in an amazing time where I don't want to use the word exploit because I know it has a negative connotation around it, but we can exploit it. We
Mm-hmm.
can use that. And honestly, it's a win-win. It goes both ways. The more people that relate to our music, it's not just them relating. It's like, other people get it.